My project is specifically about the origins and the controversies of the Canarian Folia, this folk song, as it's popular and unique to the island. So let's start with its origins. Musicologists believe that they derive from the folias of Western Europe. What are the folias of Western Europe? You probably don't know that either. So, they are originally a dance. The first time they were mentioned was in the 15th century in Portugal. And the dance was men dressing up as damsels, and they get on the shoulders of other men while people danced around doing flips and crazy choreography and eventually losing their minds, having a folly state of mind, or folia, is just related with complete craziness. The Portuguese dance became very popular and it spread to the rest of the Iberian Peninsula, so Spain, where monarchs had more money and they sponsored the compositions and dances in the royal courts. Because the royal courts had more money, they wanted, they were able to compose the folias and write them on paper, unlike when you were just dancing them on the street. The first instance of this was in the Baroque period in France, when Jean-Baptiste Lully wrote the Folia de France. Well, I don't know how to pronounce it in French. But the Folies of Spain, right? The Folia of Spain. This was, obviously, it wasn't the first Folia that ever be played, it was just the first one written down. And this standardized the chord progression and the fact that it's in 3/4 time and played in a minor key. This one is specifically in D minor, and you will hear the following chord progression. It starts in, for musicians that can understand, it's in minor 1 to dominant 5, back to minor 1. So this 1-5-1 like tonic dominant relationship is present. And then 7-3-7, all major, and back to minor 1, and then 5-7 is a cadence. It does this twice, so these 8-bar ideas create a phrase. And let's hear it. So you can, no better way of knowing what it sounds like. The audio is a little quiet, so yeah. That's one phrase. The repetition. So that would be one folia, 2 8-bar phrases forming one folia. That's the historic folia. Now, how did it get to the Canary Islands, and does it sound the same? Well, the Canary Islands, first of all, for people that are unsure, are on the west coast of Africa, down here, far removed from what's going on in Paris and Madrid and all these other rich cities. In 1402, the Spaniards colonized the Canary Islands and committed a genocide against the indigenous people, or the Wancha, that ended in 1496. This led to the islands becoming Spanish, and then agriculture was their main industry. They, because of their location, were used as a port between Africa, Spain, and the New Americas once they discovered them. Because of this, mestizaje became popular in Spain, or in the Canary Islands, which is just mixed race culture, is what defined the Canary Islands. Because people from Africa, people from Latin America, and Europe all met there, and they found a home there, where they brought their food, their culture, all sorts of different things, but specifically music for this presentation. So music came from Portugal, came from Africa, and came from Latin America, and one of these things is the folia. Finally, they did not have these royal courts in the Canary Islands, and people who performed folias were in a different atmosphere. So they did not exactly sound the same. However, musicologists have always pointed out that the Canarian folia derives from the historic folia. I'll now play you one of the Canary Islands folias, and you will tell me if it sounds like this. Let's get it back in our heads. This is the first development. 1, 5. 1, 2. 7, 3, 7. Right. Alright, now this is a Canary Islanders Folia. Right, you go out. Try to find differences or similarities. That's one folia, and then this guy sings another. What are did you think they sounded similar? Probably not. I don't know. Maybe you did. However, their similarities. Let's start. Musicologists have pointed out that they derive from the same chord progression. 1-5-1, 7-3-7, and 5-1. This is true. However, there's more depth to Canary Islanders folia. Another similarity is that they're both in 3-4. And they were both originally dancers. However, the differences are many and need to be pointed out, which is what typically musicologists haven't done. And that's what I would like to do. So, the differences, one of which is modulation. This one modulates a lot between the relative minor and major key. It starts in the minor key, and it goes over to the major key. And back to the minor, and back to the major. Another thing is the instrumentation. So, what the heck are all of these instruments? You might probably haven't even seen them before. The guitar, you've seen, sure. The bandurria is a type of lute which was shown in the beginning that's used for plucking. And it's a sort of fatter lute, and it's prominent in the Canary Islands folklore. And this is a timbre. It's a 5-string mini guitar. And this one is my uncle's, and it's kind of broken, so if you'd like to just pass it around and look at it.
So we can break it somewhere.
Yeah. Precisely. So, that's a little timbre. It's a 5-string mini guitar, and it's only seen in the Canary Islands. The instrumentation plays a big role in this music for one-day swing notes. And that. So that's one of the big differences between the historic and this one. As well as the motifs they play. They have a walking bass motif every time there's a modulation, and this modulation signals a singer that you should sing again. It's your turn to sing. Another thing that they do is an estribillo, or a refrain, at the end of the piece. And then the rest of the choir joins in to sing with the singer, and that's mainly led by the instrumentalists. So, the maybe biggest difference of all is that these people sing them for fun. This situation here, this is a concert and it's more formal, but the typical setting of Folia is on the streets, at a party, at town parties. They don't really exist here as much, but people will gather to celebrate the Virgin Saints of the city, and they just drink and play Folia. It's kind of a beautiful thing. But it's for fun. It's not the courtly audience that you have in Paris or in Madrid or in richer cities. So I would like to show you guys one of the Folias that are played for fun on the street. So his turn is up, and now it's someone else's turn to improvise a Folia. Goes on for 12 minutes, so maybe we should stop there. But everyone's just improvising and having fun, which is what makes the Canarian, like the Canarian Folia, unique and special. So I would like to just recap that music colleges have tried to make them fit the Western European standard music, tried to make them fit the historic Folia, when there's so much more to them, and the differences should be accredited to their own origins. Like where does improvisation come from? Where does the swinging come from? Likely from the other diverse origins of the people who live in Canarian, right? Latin America or Africa. And yeah, and that concludes my presentation, and I would like to maybe play a Folia or two or three for you guys, if it sounds good. So I'd like to bring on my brother to sing the first one. Always playing a tuba and no singing. Ready? Mm-hmm. question?
Let's let your committee ask the first
Yeah.
few, if we have any.
Is the community have questions?
I had one,
Yep.
but I think you answered it. My question was, are all the Folia, are they written? Because in some parts you say, once you hear it, you may never hear it again.
Yeah.
So it seems like it's sort of spontaneous.
A lot of them are spontaneous, yes.
Yeah,
So
so
most
that's-
of them are improvised,
Mm-hmm.
and some are part of like the canon. Like the one my brother sang and the second one I sang they're more traditional ones about the Folia itself.
Mm-hmm.
However, the third one I came up with. So yeah, I appreciate it. I'm so thankful for Dr.
Juan, I just wanted to know, are the words improvised too?
Yeah, if you look, there's a popular improvisational man, a man who improvises for a living. His name is Yeray Rodriguez. And you see him here at the end telling a famous singer how to, the words to improvise. Would you like to hear it? He's whispering lyrics to me. It's just on the spot, he's making up lyrics. That rhymes. This is a very beautiful Folia that is improvised, and you probably will never be sung again. So it's one of the beautiful things about the Canarian Folia that they're very in the moment. Yeah.
Anybody?
Any other questions? Yes, Dr. Peter.
Juan, I was wondering if, I'm hearing, I'm not an expert, but I'm hearing a lot of sort of North African, Arabian influence,
Yeah.
because it's all a continuum, right? From Andalusia to
Most definitely.
North Africa to our Canaries. I wonder if you've looked at like related musical genres in any of those other places.
I haven't done it yet, but that's the goal of a possible future project with this style of music, is actually crediting these tropes to the North African roots. And yeah, you're most definitely right. The North Africans went to Andalusia, they took it and they spread their culture there. That's why music sounds like that. Like it's all kind of similar. Yeah. Thank you.
Are there any indigenous left?
Not anymore, no. They're all gone. Their language is still, it's written, and we know it's what it is. However, yeah, the genocide was, whoever was left in 1496 was enslaved, and after that, there was a big movement where they all committed suicide. They yell, "Ati stigma," they're like, better dead than a slave. Yeah, it shows the atrocities of the Spanish people. Yeah. They're no longer there. So, any other questions? Yeah. What a way to end.
I
Thanks, I'd also like to point out that this is the traditional wear of the working people of the Canarian Islands. My mom has the women's wear. Yeah. So thank you all for coming. I'm so happy. Enjoy some snacks in the bathroom and have a great day, great life.